Okay, so here is video 14, A-14. State whether the expression approaches zero, infinity, or negative infinity. Now, infinity is not a number. Infinity is a process of continuation, like without end. So um, this uh, this is this denominator, I'm sorry, I was thinking of something else. So this symbol, this infinity symbol, means that this denominator is growing without end. It just keeps growing. Um, so we could think like, 17 over 100, 17 over 1,000, 17 over 10,000. And as this keeps going, guys, as this denominator grows, this number, 17 over, whatever, like 17 over 100, 17 over 1,000, 17 over 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So this number just keeps getting smaller and smaller. So the first one, we have that this, all of this is approaching zero. Colin, do you mind if I just make this video real quick? Okay, it won't take long, and it might be interesting. So, oh, you could turn that on if you want to watch. So that's the first one. The second one is very similar. So think of like 4 over negative 100, 4 over negative 1,000, 4 over negative 10,000. So again, the denominator is growing, the numerator is staying constant. So this expression is again approaching zero. Now let's look at number 3. So here the numerator is growing without end. Here the numerator is also growing without end, but in a negative direction. So for number 3, you could think like 10 or 100 over negative 3, 1,000 over negative 3, 10,000 over negative 3. And if you look at those numbers, they're not approaching zero because they're not getting smaller. Okay, so 1, 1, 2, 3 divided by negative 3 divided by... Okay, so they're getting big, and they're just going to keep getting bigger as the numerator blows up and the denominator stays constant. Oh, but notice, they're getting bigger in a negative direction. So this, here we have negative infinity. Okay, now this next one, 4. So think like negative 100 over negative 8. Negative, I'll just jump right to 10,000 over negative 8. And this is also getting really big, the numerator, but it's similar to this situation, except we've got a negative over a negative. So that's going to go to positive infinity. Okay, almost done, guys. Now number 5. Number 5, we're dealing with 37 times infinity. So think 37 times 100, 37 times 1,000, 37 times 10,000, times a million. This number continues to increase, continues to get bigger in a positive direction. So if it continues to get bigger in a positive direction, that's positive infinity. So that was 5. Now 6. This one. So think like negative 2 times negative 100, negative 2 times negative a million, negative 2 times negative a billion. So this is growing, but in what direction, positive or negative? A negative times a negative is a positive. So this is growing, getting huge in a positive direction. So that's again positive infinity. Okay, 2 more cases, and then you could practice. So, number 7, we've got negative 8 over 3 times negative infinity. Well, let's figure out the infinity part first. We don't want to see a number times an infinity. We just want to see like a plus or minus infinity in the bottom. So think of like 3 times negative 100, 3 times negative 1,000, 3 times negative a billion. So the denominator is getting huge, but in a negative direction because it's positive times a negative. So this is number 7. So number 7 actually is going to be the same as if we just had negative 8 over negative infinity. Did I say positive? I said negative direction, I think. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay, and now this is like the top row. Oh, it's actually similar to 4. It's just the reciprocal of number 4. So, but so you know a negative over negative is a positive, but that actually doesn't matter here because this is a case where the denominator is getting huge. So if the denominator is getting huge, even though it's in a negative direction, the denominator is getting huge, the numerator is staying constant. So this entire fraction is going to be approaching 0. And if that didn't make sense to you, plug numbers into your calculator. Go negative 8 over negative 100, negative 8 over negative 1,000. And you'll see it's a decimal that's getting super small. All right, now finally number 8. We've got negative 12 times infinity. So guys, if you multiply this huge quantities by negative 12, they're actually just going to get 12 times bigger in the negative direction, right? Because that's a positive. So negative times a positive is a negative. So this is going to get huge, but negative. So it's negative infinity on the top. All right, so negative infinity in the top and 11 in the bottom. Now you want to think like negative 100 over positive 11, negative 1,000 over positive 11, negative 1,000,000 over positive 11. Since it's the numerator that's getting huge, the entire fraction gets huge. And a negative over a positive is a negative. All right, so basically, guys, if the numerator gets huge while the denominator stays the same, the entire fraction is getting huge. It could be in a positive or negative direction. If the numerator is staying the same but the denominator is getting huge, that's when if the fraction will just get smaller and smaller over time and approach 0. Okay, now you can practice.